Hi, Mary Jane Doe. Hello. Oh, thank you for hitting the like. I appreciate that. I'm aggravated. What else is new? We gotta go over this. I'm leaning the science person right now. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so stressed. Sean, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna go in and talk about a microscope. Yeah, let's wait till everybody, more people come in or whatever. And then I'll tell y'all what I've been doing. And I just got my new microscope and I'm super excited about, what does that sound? Anyways, I'm super excited about that. Oh God, you don't know how excited I am about this thing. But, hi Sunshine. You know, I didn't stick around school that long. Definitely not long enough to learn how to dissect or learn how to really use a microscope. So I'm winging this shit. And my winging didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So, you know, like Lulu and Melly Joe said, we're hoping that it's a faulty human and not a faulty newt. We're going to talk about sperm, dog sperm, not girl sperm or guy sperm, and AI, not artificial intelligence, but artificial insemination, and using this thing and what I came up with. Oh, it's a mess, y'all. It's a mess. All right, so as everybody knows, my little girl is in heat, okay? My little girl's in heat. I've got 2 golden retrievers. One is an English cream golden retriever, meaning she's white, and she is in heat. And then I've got a standard golden, which is Newt. And Newt needs to be a daddy. He just needs to be a daddy. The problem with Newt has been, because I have had puppies with my very first golden retriever. Her name was Cheyenne, and she passed almost 2 years ago. Or it has been 2 years now. Year and a half. And I didn't let Newt be the daddy because he was 2 years younger than her. And I wanted to make sure he was mature enough to do everyone. I wanted to make sure that he was mature enough to father puppies, right? In the right way. Lulu, yeah, prayers for Newt's swimmies. You're about to fall asleep. That's okay, Mary Jane. Get you some. Does he have erectile dysfunction? Probably. No, he does not, because I just did that, right? So I am AIing, artificial inseminating, my dog. Which means that I have to collect, and that's the term that you use professionally, I have to collect the sperm, which I did. I collected Newt. He's a golden retriever. Okay? This would be his first litter, and he's old enough now. So I bought this handy dandy thing. Okay? Because The last time a little girl, Newt, I think, has always wanted to be a daddy because he helped Cheyenne have her 2 litters. So, little girl, the last time she was in heat 7 months ago, I artificially inseminated. And I took her to the vet because she just struggled to, and I artificially inseminated her with Newt. How do you think I got his sperm? I mean, you know, you do what you do. And anyway, so she got pregnant, okay? And she ended up absorbing her puppies. And I think it was because of she quit eating. She quit drinking. She quit eating. She just, everything stopped. It was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible experience. So, anyways, had her at the vet 2 weeks ago because I knew she was coming into heat again, and I wanted to make sure with the vet that she's good to go, and had her blood tested, everything. She's, you know, they don't know why she had that fluke. Maybe there was something wrong with the puppies. I don't know, okay? The reason why Newt cannot do, the reason why I have to artificially inseminate her is because Newt, hi Tashi, hi everybody, thank you for being here. Because Newt has always been told, whenever he used to try to mount Cheyenne, to get down. No, not get, I didn't say get down, I said put it away. Because, you know, the red rocket would come and he would try to mount Cheyenne, but he was too young to father any puppies, so I didn't let him. Well, he, through the years, has figured out that put it away means, to him, it means he, not to mount. So he doesn't mount. Not at all. So I have to artificially inseminate. And if you knew my dog, Newt, you would know he has the greatest pedigree. He has, he's had his heart tested, his, I've had his OFAs done, which is his elbows, his elbow, all of his joints are tested. He's perfect. His hips, everything is perfect. And he has the sweetest disposition. I mean, he is a perfect dog to, that you would want to breed. So I've done all the right testing. I've done all that. I was just waiting for the right time for him. Well, Cheyenne ended up getting sick after her second litter about, anyways, it was just, that was, it didn't have anything to do with her being pregnant. Something happened to her that nobody knew was going to happen, and it happened, and she left. And that was very difficult because she was my first golden retriever. And I still love her, and I still miss her every day. Anyways, so I ended up getting little girl. I'll show you guys the dogs. Hold on, for those that want to see them. Say hello, you two. There's little girl. She's been in hiding mode. Nunu. Hi, buddy. Oh. So these are my babies. Newt is 4 years old now. And a little girl is almost 3. Okay? So she's in active heat, but not standing heat yet. So standing heat means that she's standing there and telling Newt, get on, right? That's not happening yet. This is day 7 or 8 of her heat. I noticed 7 days ago that she was bleeding. So, but I'm pretty sure it was the day before because I saw Newt trying to clean her. Some dogs just don't like to be watched. Oh, they don't. They don't like to be watched at all. But I mean, they have a hiding place that they go out there, and Newt will not mount. No, and I've tried to help him, and I don't want to stress him out because he's like, I'm gonna get in trouble. I mean, he just minds like no other dog you've ever seen. So, anyways, I collected Newt tonight, right? Because I wanted to check his sperm quality. And now that's the first time I've ever used this. It's the first time I've ever used one. Before I even collected Newt, I sat here for an hour and a half reading my book, because I'm female. We read. We're not like you males that just don't read the instructions. I read the instructions, all of them. A couple times, actually, right? Then I came over here and I have different specimens that they send with your kit, right? So you can, how do I get this damn thing open? You guys, I had this open. I can't, how am I supposed to look for sperm when I can't even open a damn box? The hell? I had it open. How did I open it? Anyways, inside this box is practice, what do you call them? Slides. Come here, you bitch. What the hell? There's practice slides in here, and it's got a leaf, it's got a spider, there's 10 different slides in here. So anyways, I went through all those, found the right settings to be able to see them and see the stuff that's going on, right? I'm like, okay, I got this shit. I know what I'm doing. So then I put on a glove, right? And then I got my collection bag, which looks like this. For those that don't know, it's kind of shaped like a bippy. Oh, Lizzo says not to call weenies bippies anymore, but I can't help it. Anyways, I got my glove on, right? And I was like, come on, Newt. And Newt smiled at me and winked, and we, bada bing, bada bang, you know. Hi, Darlene. I collected Newt. Then I came over here, my handy dandy little thing, and I got, you have a bottom slide that goes in here, and a top slide that you put the little sample on, and then you put the top slide on it, you slide it in here, you turn this bitch on, and you just start messing with stuff until okay, so I did that. I could see the cells, okay? I look like a straight up professional. I just gotta listen, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I looked professional doing this, all right? I felt very professional doing this. I need a white lab coat, okay? I got my own specimen. I got my own shit out. I was doing my thing here, y'all, and there were no swimmies. I could see the cells, but there's no swimmies, right? And believe me, I've done enough research to know about swimmies. So if your swimmies are doing this, round and round and round and round and round and round, you'll see a whole bunch of them. They're just going round and round and round and round in circles, right? Those are bad swimmies. Okay, they're not good. There's something wrong with them. You want your swimmies to be going zoom, 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 zoom. You want them to go in a straight, and they're fast. They're fast. You want them just to shoot out in a straight line everywhere, right? A bajillion of them, right? I didn't see not one. Not one. So the hope is that Leanie's doing something wrong. And I don't mind being wrong. I want to be wrong. I want my little Newtstifer to daddy some puppies. Is that too much to ask? Don't think so. So I'm going to show you really quick just some AI, okay? What I do. You know, you have to collect the stud dog, right? Then there's this thing, and I don't want to, I guess I could take it out. I've got plenty of these, so I could just throw this one away. Dum da da dum, da 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 dum. Okay? You get, I like these because they are rounded and bendable, and they're soft. So I'm thinking about my hoo-ha. Hi, Sean. Thinking about my hoo-ha, and I'm thinking, oh, that doesn't look too painful, right? So it would work fine for little girl. Anyways, you lube this bitch up, right? And then you get one of these. Now I have to use the bigger one than what comes with the kit because Newt puts out probably about 20 to 30 cc of sperm. Okay, this is only 5. Okay, so it would take me like 3 or 4 times to fill this up. So once you maneuver this in to the female, right? You've got about that much hanging out. It's different for different dogs. I have large breed dogs, so of course you're gonna need most of this. You hook this in here like that, and then the sperm's in there, right? And then you slowly squirt that in there while, let me get graphic here, while your finger's in there, because you use your finger to guide this in there, right? Where it's supposed to be. Then you pull this out once it's all there. No, I'm not drunk. And you basically have to leave your finger there for 20 to 30 minutes, which represents when a dog ties or gets hooked or stuck, however you guys want to do it. It basically mimics that because your finger stays in there just like a dog when they tie together, right? And then, so you're basically leaving the sperm in there, which is what the tie represents, and it gives the sperm chance to get up to where it needs to go, which is kind of a thing. And then you hopefully have your female dog like chill out for about an hour so that none of it comes out, right? There's the idea. Listen, we're an educational channel too. Did you get into the red wine after dinner again? No, I'm not off, you guys. This is completely sober, and I'm letting you guys know. This is mild compared to what I do. So if you've never been here before, you're coming in on a really mild night. I mean, we're an educational channel too. If you want to talk about your sperm, I'll talk about your sperm with you. Any hoot and a holler. Like I said, done a lot of research on this thing. And there's a lot more that's going to go into this. Like little girl will start going in on her 10th day, which is in 3 days. They will draw blood for me. I will bring the blood home. I have a centrifuge that spins the blood because you've got to spin the blood. And once you spin the blood, then the serum comes to the top, so it looks like clear liquid on the top and red cells at the bottom, and you test the serum from the blood. So I got to do all that, and then you take that serum and you put it in another test, and you find out when her peak ovulation is. And what it is, when you know it's at peak through the other test that I've got on the way here right now, so I can't show you, you know it's time to impregnate your daughter. I mean, well, it's my daughter. My parents were first in the world to inseminate alpacas. Oh my God, I love that so much. We need as many tips as we can get. So, one of the people that I've always followed since I have been breeding, get up there, is this guy. I'm telling y'all, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. This man right here, let me pull this down. This man right here, if you're ever going to breed dogs, this is the man to, I mean, he's been doing it for 40 something years. Y'all, some of his dogs, if he sells, what are those little, they're, flat-faced kind of dogs? Frenchies. He sells Frenchies. Did y'all know that a blue Frenchie, which he has and he sells, are $20,000? Can you freaking imagine that? I don't mean to be rude, but I think you're on the sauce. I will take my leave. Andrew, you have a good night. Good morning, RC. All right. This is the dude right here. He's out of Oklahoma. I couldn't believe that anybody pays $20,000 for a dog. I just cannot freaking believe that. I'm in shock. So let me see. This one is the, let me see. Hold on just a second. So this guy, he only artificially inseminates. And he only, his dogs only have cesarean sections for his own reasons, okay? I could show y'all how to collect from a stud through him, if you guys want to see that, which is exactly what I do. Let's look at this one. All right, y'all, this is not $20K for a dog, yeah. At $450K for my parents' best alpaca. I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine. I mean, that'll pay, you know how many house payments? That would pay almost 2 years of house payments for me. I'm so sure. All right, so I'm going to show you guys. If you don't want to see it, now's the time to exit. This is not my work. This is called, this YouTube channel is called Love My Pups, and he is awesome. There's nothing he doesn't know about breeding. There's nothing this man does not know, and I respect him so much, and I've actually talked to him on the phone. But this is what AI consists of. It's 17 minutes. I'll speed it up a little bit, and we can watch it. I think Darlene is actually in Australia, right? All right, let's watch this one. This content may be listen, this content, it says right here, may be inappropriate for some viewers. All right? So if you're sensitive to dog breeding, artificial insemination, and collecting a stud dog's sperm, then this is not the show for you. Go ahead and exit stage right. Come back when I'm doing a show on something different. You never know what you're going to get here. But that's what we're going to watch because I want you guys to understand what I'm doing. So now, because I couldn't find any swimmers in Newt's sperm tonight, Monday I will call the reproduction vet and see if they will test it for me, which they're going to do the same thing, but they just probably have a better microscope or something. So there's that. So we're going to... Okay, this guy's name is James, you guys. Disclaimer, this is not my channel. This is James at Love My Pups. I love him so much. Seriously, him and his wife are just magnificent people. They're good people. They actually help people like me. You can actually just call James up and be like, yo, James, like I didn't find any swimmies in Newt's sperm. And he would be like, just take it right on over to the repro vet and he'll let them test it for you. All right, so here we go. We're gonna watch James. I love him, you guys. He has Elvis hair. Who doesn't love some good Elvis hair? Let me roll this down a little bit. Okay, here we go. And I will try to speed it up. Playback speed. Let's do 125. Okay, why can't we hear James? There it is. So he breeds Frenchies and makes a shit ton of money.
We've got a 10cc syringe, we've got a glove, towel, and we've got an 8-inch AI rod. Okay, we're going to put this stuff up. So this is the second AI for this girl. So here she is. We're going to put them down on the ground. So let's go ahead and put her down, Russ. So she is a lilac. Is she a blue with? She's a blue decayed chocolate with 10 points. Smaller.
Hey KW, good to see ya.
His name is. He's one of my stud dogs. His name is.
It's been a minute. I hope you're well.
So I want to show you this part to see how they behave.
Can y'all hear him?
What's going on? So she's been actually caged up since this morning, so she's more interested in seeing people right now, as opposed to Giovanni, who's like all over it. So let's just see. He's giving hugs and kisses. Okay. So there you can see that she's interested in him. He's actually erect a little bit, so I've got to be careful here that I don't. In fact, let's just stop this. Yeah, we're going to actually mess up here if we're not careful. So let's go ahead. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go straight to play space. The reason for that is you can see he's already put a bit on the ground right there. All right, Russ, going to hold that. Okay. Let's get her up here. So we're going to talk about this for a second.
And let's pull this table out too, so I can get on the other side. Yep. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the first thing here is, let's come back over this bit, Russ. So let's see what colour she's got going on here. So there we go. She's still fairly red in colour, actually. This is kind of a bit unusual. Normally it's a bit pink of this, but I know this girl.
Girl, I do all this, I'm telling you.
So this is the problem with blood colour. Blood colour by itself, it's not really deep red, but it's fairly dark. It's by itself, it's not.
Let me stop it right there. A lot of breeders will say they go by the color of the blood. Never do that. Probably it's right 80% of the time, but it really seems like that 20% of the time is when you're really ready for puppies and it's not going to work. So I wouldn't ever go off of the color of the blood. That doesn't work for every dog.
Normally you'd expect it to be pink. Normally she'd ovulate around day 9. Day 1 is first signs of blood. Day 9 ovulation, breed that dog between day 11 and day 13. We're at day 13 on this dog. And you can see we're still fairly dark, but she's receptive. She wasn't receptive a few days ago. All right, so this is a boy. Let me get, where's that cup at? Yes, behind you. Take that out of it.
Y'all, I'm not a freak. We're learning about how to AI, not artificial intelligence, but artificial inseminate a dog, okay? Everybody want to know how I collect my dog, which means get the sperm. You're fixing to learn.
Take a video. Okay. Okay. So it's cold out here. I'm gonna get my hand around this cup to make sure I keep it warmed up. I normally do this inside, but I want to do it outside so everybody can see what's going on. All right, here's the anatomy of a dog. First thing is clean off. Get any muck off his penis. He's already humping. Now, come back over here. We can see for us. There's his testicles. There's his testicles. There's a bulge that's going to form right here. You can just see it starting to form when I do this. When I grab that, he will form a knot. And here he goes. You've got to be quick on this because otherwise, obviously, I'm going to lose the semen on the ground. So what I'm collecting here, he'll start thrusting here a little bit and we'll be able to see a better idea about what's going on. But what we're going to collect here is the basically what's called a sperm-rich fraction. It's the creamy stuff. It's the stuff we want to smell, not the prostate fluid. I don't want to...
Lulu, Newt is a male dog. He's always horny. All I had to do was just touch his bippy just like that, and he was like, let's go.
Much prostate fluid. So here he goes. He's calmed down. And you can see what he's producing is very milky in color. And you can see it there forming on the tip of his penis and dropping down to the cup. I'm putting my hand here so I can keep this thing warm. I don't want to get it too cold. So you can also look up here by my hand, Russ. You can see the bulb. You can see where my finger is. My finger is in front of the bulb and behind his testicles. And I'm squeezing him, and not as much as would hurt a person, but enough that he can't get away from me. And what am I doing? Absolutely nothing other than holding him, directing his penis into the cup, and just making sure he's not bashing the tip of his penis in the end of the cup, because that would not be very comfortable for him. And you can see, people comment on this and say, oh, you're doing terrible things to the dog. I promise you, this dog is extremely happy to do this. This dog is not in any pain at all. And afterwards, he's going to want a cigar and sit down and rest. Okay. So we're still collecting nice, milky-looking fluid. It's starting to go a bit clearer on me. Can you get a good picture of that, Russ? Can you see the clear?
I'm trying. The light makes it hard for me to see.
Why don't you come around this side here where I am? I've got a very good...
Well, I've got a good one.
Okay. Well, it's gone clear. So you can see now that what he's producing is basically clear fluid. And I don't want to collect too much of that because that doesn't help the situation. But I do want you to come around this side here, Russ, so I can show where the knot is, because I'm going to pull them out of this. So I've collected all I need to collect. And at this point, I want you to see where the knot is. So here we go. There you can see. There's the knot. Come around the other side. Come around the other side. And there's his testicles. Right. So we've collected what we want to collect. So we're going to let him go now. We'll pop him down the ground so he doesn't hurt himself.
So for all of y'all that have been sickening with me that knows I'm fixing to collect my dog, and you make those funny comments, it's not what you think it is. Basically, you just know where to hold. You don't have to move your hand at all. The dog does it all for you. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Tashi, I'm just, showing how I'm going to be getting my dog pregnant. All right. And that basically right there ends the part for the male. That's it. That's all the male does.
Normally I have this collected.
I will say what I do, though, is for Newt, you see how he put him down. It's not going to hurt him. A lot of people do that, but their penis is actually out of its sheath, and I don't like letting, because they could hurt themselves like that. So I always keep Newt right next to me until I know it's gone back down. He's covered it up. The bulb is gone. Because that knot that you saw that was in front of his hand, that is actually what gets tied into a female. So whenever the male and the female are doing their thing, then that bulb swells up right on the inside of her, and that's how they get tied together. That knot right there, and then the knot has to go away in order for them to separate. That's why, please, I am begging you, if you ever see animals, whether they are dogs or cats or sheep or whatever, please do not try to separate them. Please don't throw water on them. Don't pull them apart. Don't scare them apart. Imagine this, and you've scared them. You could actually kill a female dog doing that. And it wouldn't be the first time. It's a natural thing that happens in animals, okay? So you've already missed your opportunity. If you're like, oh my God, my dog's gonna get pregnant, let me just spray them apart. No, honey, the ejaculation's already been done. Do not separate them. You can kill a dog doing it. Oh my God. I've seen so many horrific things. People are so ignorant. Please don't do it. Don't do it.
This syringe set up before. All right, Russ, we'll think about this.
Go in the shed.
No, we'll do this first. Here's the semen. Here's a rod, syringe, 10cc syringe. Just slowly suck it all the way up into the syringe. Now, if there was any dirt around in here, I'd swirl it around and get the dirt to stick on the bottom of the cup so I'm not pulling the dirt up. Any sand, grit, dirt, I don't want it in my collection. There it is. And you can see we've got 3 cc's of nice looking, cloudy, milky looking. I'm not going to let that get cold. So at this point, he's done his job. He gets a treat. We're going to go and send him a dog. Go, go. We just keep rolling. Can you grab that?
I get it. The glove. That thing, I got it.
Hi, Aussie. Hi, baby purser. I'm not even gonna say that word.
Hey, back there. Good job. This is good.
Okay. So, I've got my hand around this. It's cold outside. I don't want this getting cold. We're going to go into our sunroom here. We're going to sit down over here. Okay, so for this next part, find a place that you can get comfortable because you're going to be sitting here for 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's fixing to say it. But anyways, when you collect the sperm from your male, you have got about 30 minutes to get that live sperm. And I'm not talking about sperm that you can get shipped to you that is frozen, because you can. That has a different shelf life. But the shelf life for the sperm that you collect from your male dog, you want to pretty much will artificially inseminate as quickly as possible, even though you've got about 30 minutes. But as the minutes tick by, the more the sperm dies off.
Is doing this. I'm going to let you hold that if you would. Good.
And I can hold it so that you can
That's
maneuver
fine,
the
you do it,
dog.
yeah, you do it. All right, putting the glove on. We want to keep everything as sterile as we can. The girl needs to be peed already. She needs to be running around and had an opportunity to pee. We do not want her peeing directly after we finish doing the insemination. So make sure that she has used the bathroom. Okay, ready for her. So this is Penny here. She is a blue, carries chocolate with 10 points. And she's not going to be like this to start with, but she will settle down really quick. So here's the technique. We're going to get this girl where her front feet are on the ground so she can...
Obviously, I have a golden retriever. That's not going to work for me. So as long as I can keep little girl standing, like what she would be doing if Newt mounted her, then that's basic. For little girl, you need 2 people to do it. Just to keep her standing up. The reason why he's doing this, and he's going to tell you, is because, well, I'll let him tell you.
Shipping orbit, so they call it. So she can get somewhat comfortable position with her butt raised up because we want to inseminate her and we want all the semen to go down and flow into and through her.
Yes, Tashi, all of his puppies are, and he always says, if you're going to have small dogs like this, always just have them C-sectioned, because it's too dangerous for them to have the puppies the other way.
Cervix into her uterus. Okay, so now I need paper towel, and we're going to clean off her back end. You see, she's still shivering away here a little bit. She's a little uncomfortable. She'll settle down. Right, can you come over this way over here? Okay. Video running right?
Yes.
Good. So what I'm doing is I'm just opening the folds of the skin up around the vulva, just cleaning out. I don't want to push any muck up in there. That looks good. Okay, so now I need a lubricant. Could be olive oil. It could even be butter. I'm using Vaseline. So I'm just going to put a generous dollop of Vaseline on there. And so the anatomy of the dog is the same hole is used for her to, not to poop. There's the poop hole. This is her vulva. So this is where she pees out of, and this is where she's going to mate through. So the bladder is down here, and the uterus is back up inside here. So I'm going to put my finger, and she may squirm a bit the first time I do this, and she's a really pretty small little dog. I slowly put my finger, and it's a upward motion, then like this. That's where the canal goes. The bladder's down below. Could you ever get an AI rod into the bladder? I have never, ever got remotely close to it. I think the dog would squirm like crazy. She's calming down now. This is great. So I just want to make sure that I can get my finger in there, and that she's nice and easy to get in. Okay, I'll take that from you. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of Vaseline onto the end of this. I want to suck some air up above the semen. So when I push, I use air to flush the tube out, the AI rod, and get everything in there. So here we go. So the technique, she may squirm a little bit the first time. I put my finger, this goes in above my finger. And she may squirm a little bit. She's not going to. So now I'm just gently pushing this in. Now, that is an 8-inch rod. The penis on the dog is about 5 inches, maybe less. If I can get that,
I have
entire rod
12
in there,
inch
then I'm
that
gonna
I
be very
use
happy about
for
insemination.
little girl.
Almost always, if I've got my timing right, I'll get the entire rod in, and it does take a little bit of work. All right, so here we go. So the rod goes in, and I'm controlling the rod with my fingers. I'm not holding it here because it's all wobbly. Up here, and I'm just rotating it, and I'm moving my finger. Look, there it is, and there it's gone all the way in. That rod has gone all the way in completely.
That was easy.
That was easy. I was moving my finger around inside to help that rod, the tip of that rod, move around. I'm not going to waste any time now, so I'm just going to slowly push the plunger. You can see I'm slowly pushing the plunger in. If you push the plunger and it won't plunge, it means that you've got the end of the tube all the way up against the back end of a vaginal canal. Just pull it out a little bit. And then just slowly extract it with your finger left inside. Don't pull it out too fast because you could drag some semen out. Just slowly extract it. And there it is. That now gets thrown away. I'm not using that again. So at this point, leaving my finger in there, and you can see when I touch.
This part is so important. This part's really important.
You can see that she moves. She's pulsating. I know she's shivering a little bit, but she's squirming around on my finger, which is exactly what we want. So what do we do now? Well, we just be nice to her, stroke her, reassure her that everything's fine, and keep her elevated like this for 30
That's
minutes.
right.
So I see lots of people who come back and say, oh, I went to the vet, he inseminated her and held her up for 3 or 4 minutes and put her down, and I put her in a crate and there was some fluid in the crate with her. Does it matter? Well, of course it matters. If you lose half the semen, you lost half the potential little sperms that can get the job done. So you don't want to lose any. So I can't lose any as long as my finger's in there. If you've got a dog that really doesn't like any part of this, just take your time. Just don't get in a hurry. You don't have to, once you've collected the semen, you've got a good 30 minutes before you've got to use it. It's not like there's a race on here. If you've got a dog that wants to squirm around, put a collar on her, get your hand in the collar, and you can really control the dog that way. That way, if she wants to start running off on you, you just jam that hand right up against your leg and she's not going anywhere. But Penny here, she's being a little sweetheart. This is not a problem at all. So right now, we're just going to muck around with my finger and just going to play around here a little bit and just kind of gently get her to suck this up. And then I'm going to keep her like this for at least 15 minutes before I take my finger out. And then what I'm going to do is after 30 minutes is up, I'm going to put her all fours on the floor with my hand underneath her. And if I see anything dribbling out at all, straight back up on my knee, elevated like this, and I'll just pinch her vulva shut like this. So you don't have to have your finger in there for the entire 30 minutes, but you do want to have her back end elevated for the entire 30 minutes. And I think I see lots of people who talk about doing this, and the mistake they make is they're really not taking that 30 minutes to make sure that everything's
Hi,
soaked up
Fancy
in the
Tramp.
collar. It's super important that you get the maximum effect from the semen that you collected. You don't want to spill it out of there. You want it to stay in her. And with a small dog like this, especially if you've got 5 or 10 cc's, it's going to take a little while to get it all soaked up in there. So.
All right, so when you see him touching around it, like you'll see him pat or, just stimulate it. When they're tied together, the female dog will contract. She just contracts like having a baby. And what happens when she contracts is that she is actually pulling up the semen up closer to her cervix, right? So after this, I'm going to show you like what he's talking about, where the bladder is and how you have to go up and around. Mind you, when I do this with little girls, she don't give a damn, y'all. She's just like, all right, let's do it. Can you give me some bacon while I'm sitting here? Little girl doesn't care at all because I don't hold her like this. As long as she's up on all fours, the way that she would be if a dog was mounting her. And then I know that it's going in the direction it's supposed to. So that about every 2 minutes, you should touch just around the vulva so that she contracts, okay?
It's not just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. If you do that,
Wham,
send
bam,
me a shot
thank
with
you,
a down on the
ma'am.
ground, and I see lots of people do that on YouTube. If you do that, you've got a very good chance that you might lose the bulk of the load. She'll just squeeze her muscles one time, and you've got your puddle going out on the ground. Right, so that's it. You can go to our website, www.lovemypups.com, lovemypups.com. We have 20 French Bulldog dogs. If you've got a Frenchie and you want to get your Frenchie pregnant, we ship all over the United States, Canada, Europe, Mexico, with our patented shipping system called ShipMate.
All right, so I'm gonna stop James right there, you guys. I love James. If you want to sub up to Love My Pups, that's James and his wife. They are just precious people. They're from Oklahoma. I wanted to show you guys one more, and then not the dog in heat. Let's see. Hold on. Nope. All right.
It's so easy to
No,
sell on
no.
Poshmark. You just pick out your items,
No,
snap a couple
no.
of photos, and boom, it's up for sale. When I look at my old
So if y'all
list
wonder
now,
what
I
I'm
see
gonna be
dollar
doing
signs.
all next week, it's this, you guys.
My breeder supply, I love my pups. I've got cats running around, they might knock over a camera. If they do, we'll just pick it up and keep on going. Today I want to talk about heat cycles because I get quite a few calls about people's doggies who are having heat cycles. And so I'm going to talk about a normal
This
heat
is not the
cycle,
one that.
heat cycles that are
Hold
irregular,
on.
heat cycles in older dogs, delayed heat cycles, split heat cycles. All right, so let's just start with the framework of what is a normal heat cycle in a dog. So the problem is this is a standard dog. This doesn't mean it's your dog, and it certainly is not every dog. But the normal situation is,
No,
I'm going to count
this is
this
not the one that I
as
want.
0. This is the beginning of the heat cycle.
Hold on.
And most dogs.
Give me just a second, guys. Maybe it's on my page where I've already watched it. Let's see. God, I've got everything from getting my dog pregnant to Kirsten and York to Jeffrey Dahmer, the man eater, to Charmed. Oh my God, it's terrible. I think this one's it.
This is a laser and
This
a blade
is
cutting
a
machine.
laser.
And
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it so much.
Natural mating.
Y'all hit the
What
thumbs
I
up or the thumbs down, or
You didn't with
no, not it.
10 and 12. That's probably a pretty good technique.
How do I make this go back?
Start
Oh,
again.
here it is.
Hello, everybody.
This is one
Hello,
of.
everybody. James with Love My Pups, My Breed Supply. January the 1, starting off.
Hi James. Look, he's got Elvis hair, you guys.
So, check us out. We're having puppies here, probably today or tomorrow. And
Dog
we've got great
insemination
products
and Jeffrey
to help
Dahmer,
you
same
with
page.
getting dogs pregnant,
Slightly
doing
worrisome.
dog
I know.
inseminations,
I
We're
know.
weaning of puppies. We cover it all, and we've got great products. That
We're
we
just
use
gonna
every
watch
day.
just
If you didn't use
this
it today,
one
it was
part
not
of it right here.
Today, we are going to talk about the 3 different methods of getting a dog well. There's a 4th method, which is the natural method, but we'll talk about that too. But basically, we're talking about artificial inseminations. So you have a choice on how you're going to get your dog bred. Bigger dogs, dogs that aren't French bulldogs, typically those dogs might be bred naturally. You put the 2 dogs together, they hook up, they have a tie, they get connected from 5 to 30 minutes, and hopefully the dog gets pregnant.
Don't y'all want to curl his hair for him? Every time I'm looking at his hair, I think of a curling iron and what I could do with all that. That is a lot of hair, but I love it. It's a part of the charm. Okay.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about artificial inseminations. That's where we as humans step into the
Josh.
process. And why do we do that? Because, number one, the dogs might be far apart. One of them's on the East Coast, the other one's on the South Coast. We're going to ship semen in to have the dog bred. To that, we have a product called ShipMate, which is the only one in the world, patented shipping system for shipping dog semen reliably all around the world. So if you're going to do that, you definitely should be looking at ShipMate on Migrated Supply. So the next reason would be, the dogs don't get along with each other, or they're very, very valuable dogs and we're worried about a dog getting
You
hurt,
bet.
step in and do an artificial insemination. In French bulldogs, they have a hard time getting connected up anyway, so we personally always do artificial inseminations. And then there's other things like sexually transmitted diseases that you can avoid, things like canine herpes virus, if you don't let the dogs physically touch each other. All right, so I've drawn a picture of, and it's not to scale, but it gives you an idea about what is going on here. So this is the outside world. The dog's tail, if it had one, would be sitting up here. And the rest of the dog's up here. So this is the inside view from the side, looking at the dog. And what you have is the entrance to the vagina, the labia. You have the vaginal canal with a definite narrowing that goes to what is called the vestibule. The vestibule is basically a dead end. That is, you come to a blind end, a vestibule. And then in the top ceiling of the vestibule, there is the cervix, goes up to a tube that runs to the 2 horns of the uterus. And this is, and then by the way, I haven't drawn this, but there are oviducts up here where the eggs are.
Let me just stop this and remind you guys. The last time little girl was in heat and we watched that video of them puppies being born. Remember the puppy that crawled out of his mama? Anyways, and I told you that they get pregnant on 2 horns. Their uterus is made up of 2 horns. So there's puppies that are born off of this one and puppies that are born off of this one. And it looks kind of like that more so. And the puppies all line up like on the sides like that. So they deliver a horn at a time. So say they start on this horn, they will deliver all the puppies that are on this part of the uterus. And then you get like a break. Sometimes you could take, I mean, it could be like an hour, maybe. I've heard of some dogs even 2 hours, a break. You just have to make sure like during that time you want to give them water and maybe take them out to pee. If you take them out to pee, believe you me, take a towel with you because a puppy could get dropped on the ground. And Cheyenne did not wait a long time in between the horns, but there was definitely a wait. But I've heard of many puppies that just went out in between delivering both of the horns that there's been puppies left on the ground outside because the person didn't go with them or just didn't see it's dark or whatever. I mean, Cheyenne started having puppies when it was dark outside. So anyways, so they only deliver 1 horn at a time, and then you get a break. Take the dog potty, maybe give them some water, and then the other horn will start. You'll kind of know, like, okay, they're finished with that horn, because there's like a definite break. Even in mama, she starts reacting to the babies different.
And they go down to the uterus, and so physically what's happening is when the dog goes into heat, and eggs come down here and they get stuck on the sidewall of this uterus, ready to be fertilized. And of course, the number of eggs determines potentially what the maximum number of puppies that you can have. So the whole purpose of this is to get live semen in good quality here at the right time to maximize your litter size. And the answer to that one is it should be about 2 days after these eggs are gone in here, which typically is on a progesterone level of around 5 nanograms per milliliter. or about 16 if you're talking about nanograms per mole in Europe. It takes 2 days for those eggs before they can be fertilized, so it's 2 days after that, typically on a progesterone level of around 15 nanograms per milliliter or 48 nanograms per mole in Europe. Okay. But here's what we've got to do. We've got to get live semen in good quality, live semen at the right time here and here. Otherwise, we are not getting any puppies. So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to get done. So how do you do this? Well, the vaginal AI is the simplest way to do this. This is something that you can absolutely do at home without any trouble at all. And I've got, for instance, here, I've got, for instance, a catheter that this catheter would go in to here. You then pump this thing up. This little balloon fills up, and you then stick the AI rod, goes through as far as you can get it. I've not got a very good setup here, unfortunately. This one's knocked up a little bit. Basically, a vaginal AI, you're getting this tube all the way in, if you can, all the way into here, and that is as good as you can get with a vaginal AI. I'm trying to do this the right size, what I've got here. There is a definite narrowing right here. And so the problem is always getting this in, this piece, you would like to see this go all the way in. And the answer to getting that all the way in is number one, persistence, patience, lubrication. So lots of Vaseline. I would have my finger in here. I didn't draw this part. It's kind of relevant to this. The bladder sits down here. Here's the bladder right here. So one thing you have to be careful about is you don't get an AI rod into the bladder. I've never, ever heard of anybody doing this. I think it'd be extremely hard to do. But generally the idea is you put your finger in here, and then you put this over the top of your finger. And if you do that, it can't go in here. You can't get that. Now, if you went below, I guess you could get it in there. That wouldn't be good. I think the dog would turn around and bite you if you ever did. But anyway, the idea is you want to get this in. So the problem's always getting this in through this part here. So this is technique. And what you'll find is a dog that is ready to be bred, you've got the right day to do this, that you will find on that day that this will have actually opened up. That narrowing would have opened up quite a bit.
Like a halftime show.
Then it's much easier to get this in. And what you're going to do is, it'll actually go to the end wall, and when you feel like you can't go any further, and you'll have the majority of this rod in, you back it up a little bit, and now you let loose with your syringe, and you fill this cavity up the seam.
Ooh,
So
yeah, fill it up.
Artificial insemination method. Okay. Next method is that you use
So let me stop it right there. That's how I do little girl. I just take that rod and my finger, well, it can't be this finger barely fits from here to there. But you could definitely feel that. And when they're ready, that's open a little bit more where my finger, I'm gonna have to cut my nails down, but my finger can get in there, and then I just put the rod across. I put my finger in, and the rod goes in like that, and I can feel where that opening is. There's no other way to go. Once you get to that opening, it can only go into the vestibule. What he's talking about is when you start to push this part right here and the plunger won't move, it's actually because you've got the rod up against that wall right there. So you just pull it out a little bit, and then you push the rest of it in. All right? So, we're learning so much.
Next method is transcervical insemination. TCI, transcervical insemination. They have a scope that you put in here. It's basically a tube.
Y'all, we're an educational program.
It has a screen on it. It looks like a gun. Like that kind of thing. And you could put this whole assembly with a camera in the end of it. all
I
the
would
way
like one
into
of
the
those.
vestibule.
Oh, I would love
And
one
your
of those.
insemination rod then goes through this tube. And what you're trying to do here is you want to get, this is called the Oz. This is where the cervix is. This is the Oz. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get this thing up into there and get this all the way up into.
Could you imagine?
Into the tube that runs up to the uterus. That's the technique for a transcervical insemination. It does take some skill. It's not, it's not the kind of thing that you're going to do at home. I have a
I would never, ever, ever, ever try that, trying to manipulate the rod to get up into the cervix. Oh, negative. Not I, said the little brown
I do
hen.
this. I'm not very good at it yet. But It does take some skill and some practice to get this done. But the idea now is that rather than just simply putting the semen right here, and by the way, the dog, when you get a dog, two dogs hooked up, they're probably putting the semen right here.
Yeah. So this is, I want to say that. Timing is everything. If your dog has not gotten pregnant, your timing and that's why it's really wise to progesterone test. That's what I'm going to be doing with little girl next week. Because if you get two dogs that hook together, the male dog is only inserting his sperm right here, right? And so the little swimmies are going in through there into the little vestibule and then up here to go and find them an egg, right? So that takes longer for the sperm to do that. Now, if you are going to do what I'm going to do, which is put the sperm in right directly in here, so all it has to do now is go straight up to find eggs. And that's why he was holding the dog upside down, just natural way to go up. This is going to be less time now. So you see, you can't just go off of like, so Newt's going to get all kind of happy and it's just going to drive me fucking crazy for about 2 days. It's 2 nights where they don't sleep. They don't. Everywhere she goes, he goes. If they're on the bed, Newt is humping her head, the side of her leg, all 4 of them, everywhere but where Newt should be humping. And then little girl just finally lays down missionary style. I know I'm getting kind of like in depth here, but this is real life, okay? I'm looking at these 2. I'm fucking exhausted. I've been up for hours because they just won't stop, right? But because I am gonna insert his sperm here, by the time he's ready to do it, he would have inserted it here, so my timing would be off by a day or so, right? So that's why it's important to check her progesterone, because from whether you're going to put it here, or actually go to the doctor and have them put it up there for you, which I would never do. Then it's all different timing of her progesterone. So that's why it's important to do that. But I'm telling you guys, no matter what I do here, Newt is going to go nuts, even though he does not know he's allowed to mount her and just do his business. So I don't have to get involved. He will hump her everywhere there is to hump her. In fact, she gets pissed off. She starts humping him, bites him on the back, flips her butt around, puts it in his face like, bitch, can you get on? And then she'll look at me like, what's wrong with your dog, Mom? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why he does that. It's a whole terrible thing. We're all having a conversation about why Newt will not mount her and just do his business. She's frustrated. I'm frustrated. Newt don't give a damn because he's nutting everywhere. Let's get back to this. It's terrible.
This I do is we want to get this tube all the way up into here, and then we actually put the semen right here. So that's a transdermal insemination. Okay, then the third way of doing this is, I'll get rid of all this. The third way of doing this is the
Fancy Tramp, would you rather this or would you rather a makeup tutorial? I'm just kidding. Poor Fancy Tramp. Tashi, give him a hug.
What you do is you make a cut. You put the dog under anesthesia for 5 to 20 minutes. You make an incision on the abdomen, and you pull these horns out, and you physically, with a syringe, inject semen directly into that. There is none of this problem with the mechanics of the semen having to swim all the way up here and find their way up into there. You put it directly in here. Okay, so 3 methods. Standard AI, you can do it at home. I've got videos on how to do that. I had people, a lot of my customers do that very successfully. Transcervical insemination requires that you go to your vet, have somebody do that for you. It's going to cost you more money. Or lastly, you do a surgical insemination, and the dog has to be put under. So now, which one should you choose and why?
All right, I'm gonna stop it there because you guys could watch the rest yourself. He's gonna just break down the whole progesterone thing, when to use what method according to the numbers of her progesterone. Now, I don't use progesterone numbers because here at home I don't have that kind of equipment. So, let me show you guys this if I could find it, and I'll show you how I do her progesterone test. Just a second, just a second. Here we go. Yo, I know this is so exciting. Stop it. No, we don't want to know that. No, 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 no. Nope.
It's time to do another one for fine.
I'm not paying thousands of dollars for that machine. I just cannot do it. Now if I had 5 or 6 dogs that I was, breeding to breed, then maybe that'd be a little bit different, but Target Vet, I think, is the one that I use. Yep, this one's it. All right, this is the one that I use. So what's the clear stuff is the serum that once you spin out the blood, this serum comes to the top of it, and that's what you want to use. None of the red stuff, okay? And it only takes like 30 seconds depending on how fast your centrifuge works. Mine works pretty fast. About 30 seconds and you'll spin the clear serum, and that's what you want to use. Ten minutes. Mine doesn't take that long to spin out. Do you extract blood too? Yeah. So, I did Cheyenne's blood a couple of times. Let me turn this down because we don't need to hear their music. I did take Cheyenne's blood a couple of times, and I just didn't like doing it. She never flinched or moved. I could do it without anybody helping me. She just didn't care. But I that's just one thing I don't like doing. I will give my animals injections. I will inoculate them. I'll do all of that. But the drawing the blood, ever since I had that blood transfusion, to tell you the truth, after my hysterectomy, it just grosses me out. It grosses me out. Now, to me that, okay, I'm glad she's putting it back. No, she didn't put it back in. If you guys noticed, see how her blood is, so at the bottom, it looks like a blood clot, and then it's like I spin mine to where it's almost clear. But that, I guess that'll work too. So it looks like by the time you spin it, it looks like a blood clot in the bottom, and you only want to use the serum on the top. But I mean, for these tests to work, I guess they've worked for her like that. I always try to spin as much down, but this is how I test her. So the kit comes just like this. It's got different washes in it, different stuff in it. That blood tube can be thrown away now. And then it gives you step by step what you're supposed to use in here. And then after the test is complete, takes less than 5 minutes, I think, to do, maybe 15, I can't remember. It has a color chart on the instructions, right? So I don't go by, if you took them to a vet and had them progesterone tested, they actually go by the numbers. But when you just want to do it at home, then this is the way to do it. So whenever this thing turns, I think it's almost completely white, you know it's time to get on that. Like the minute it turned, I remember the last time I progesterone Cheyenne, the last time I tested hers, I tested it the day before and it said it tells you by the color, you know, test in 2 days, test in 3 days, test tomorrow. Y'all, I forgot to test the next day, and so I tested the following day and it was clear. Y'all, I had to grab my stuff right then because her stud was in Ohio. And that was a 6-hour drive for me. So I had to call her stud owner and be like, we're on our way. I'll see you this evening. Had to jump right in the car with Cheyenne and make the drive. And she still got pregnant. So you have to, when it comes to this kind of doing it this way, you have to be ready to go at any moment if you're going to take your dog on a road trip to get him pregnant. I had a friend, when I lived in Noblesville, I have a good friend that has been a vet tech for years and years and years. And so she would just come to my house to draw the blood from Cheyenne for me. She's the one that actually taught me to draw Cheyenne's blood. And it just becomes a whole different thing after you have been given a couple bags of blood. I just went to the doctors and found out I have intestinal surgery operation soon. Oh gosh, Sean. How do you take blood from a hairy arm? You could shave it, but if you look at, so you could shave just a little bit, but my friend Crystal was so good at it. She, and all the vets here, I mean, most vets don't shave the dogs anymore to take blood. They can just feel it because if you take alcohol and you pour it on the dog's skin, even with hair, you will actually see the vein pop up in a lump. Alcohol is the best thing. So see this right here, you go by, see how it's blue? So this will tell you, so this to me looks in between these two right here. Retest every 2 days until you get to C1, until a C1 light blue C2 is obtained. So this right here would be in here. So it would say plan to inseminate within 3 to 6 days. And then as it gets fainter, repeat the test daily. That's the one that I missed, you guys. And so by the time I retested Cheyenne, she was already, that dot was already a white. And I was like, holy shit. Because a dog can only get pregnant just like a woman in a certain time during ovulation. So you've only got a couple of, like, I think is it a 2.5 or a 3 day window and that's from when the sperm is put in to get it all the way up to the egg before the egg dies. So it's really, really important to do that. But so there you go. That's how I progesterone test her as well. And then we'll know. But I will do videos or something on it when we get to that point. Sean, I don't want to get too much in your business, honey, but I hope everything comes out all right. Let me know. Wait a minute. What did I miss here? Oh, intestinal hernia. Okay. Lou says lose weight beforehand. I didn't with my first one and it burst. Had to go back and get the mesh. Oh, that sounds terrible. I've always been heavy as a giant. Well, Sean, you have my messenger. Make sure you get in there and let me know when you're supposed to have your surgery. Because you know as well as I do, everybody here loves you and they're going to want to know how you're doing. So, keep me updated on that. I've got some gnarly pictures. Because was it yesterday that I had my procedures done? I had an upper and a lower GI. And the pictures are the best thing. They are the best thing. But let me tell y'all what happened. So I had to get this done because for some reason I'm anemic again and I'm losing blood somewhere, right? So my doctor's like, all right, you need an upper and a lower. And I was like, cool, give me your doctor. He gave me his doctor. The doctor and I had a Zoom call like a month ago. And he kind of creeped me out a little bit, but I was just like, I'm just going to trust him because my doctor trusts him, whatever. He did give me the creepies though. All right. So then we planned it. So then yesterday morning, I went in and had it done. Right. Well, I didn't like the surgical team at all. The nurse who was in the room with me before I went in to the operating room, she was cool. She was nice. She just, talked to me and did my IV, did everything. I mean, it was so, so nice, right? And she kind of explained a little bit what was happening. The next thing I know, another nurse comes out of the operating room, wheels me back there and says, and is giving me these instructions. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm getting rolled to surgery, I'm thinking about everything that can go wrong. So I'm not focused, right? I hear them, but I'm not understanding them, right? So I guess she's giving me all these instructions about what's going to happen as soon as we get into the OR and then, right? I'm not lying to you guys. There's a nurse, that nurse was on my right side. There was another nurse that came around from behind my head that was on my left side. One of them's hooking me up to these heart monitors that they had already put on me. in the other room where they did my IV and stuff. So this chick on the right is hooking up all my heart monitors, my oxygen thing. And this other chick that's on the left side, y'all, they're just moving. They're not even speaking to me. They're just like, blah, blah, you know, just doing their shit, right? One thing I do remember hearing, though, is some really good music. And I forget what it was, but I thought, yeah, these people are cool people. They listen to the right music. But anyways, so this chick on the left side of me is, I don't know what the hell she's doing. Oh, she's lifting my head, putting a thing underneath my head. She's like, I'm going to have you turn over to your left side. Well, this chick is still hooking me up to all these lines. And, I mean, they're both just coming at me at 90 to nothing. And both of them are doing two separate things. So you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, oh. And then the nurse on my left is like, honey, we need you to roll over on your left side. I was like, cool. And I grabbed the bar and I was rolling over. And then she says, I'm not lying to you. She says, put this in your mouth. Y'all, it was a mouthpiece. Y'all know what those, you know what football player mouthpieces look like? To cover their teeth? Those things, that's what it looked like. It's about this big, right? She's literally, I'm not lying and I'm not exaggerating. Because when I exaggerate, I let y'all know that I'm exaggerating. I am not, okay? She's shoving this plastic piece thing in my mouth, telling me, put it in your mouth and bite down. And I'm like, I'm trying to say, what are you doing? But I can't, because I have no choice but to open my mouth and let her put this in there over my teeth. And it's got this little tube that comes out of it and with a hole. And I was trying to shake my head, right? And just be like, what the fuck? Like, everybody slow down and tell me what's going on, because, I mean, they were just coming at me, right? So, oh, and they had put this oxygen, the one on the left put the oxygen thing on too. So everything's going at once. I mean, everything. And the oxygen thing and all that, and then she's shoving this in my mouth. I didn't know what the hell was happening, because I had never had one of those where they go down your throat. And I didn't have a choice. I had to put it in my mouth. I mean, she had it right up against my lips, so fuck her. And then in walks the anesthesiologist, like, and the door's like towards my feet, which he was nice enough to come and introduce himself to me in the other room. And he was, oh, so good looking. I'm not, y'all, I'm not lying to you. That man was, oh, y'all, he was some kind of fine. He said hello, and he just kept walking. And I knew, you know, anesthesiologists always sit behind you at your head, right? So I knew I wasn't going to see him anymore, damn it. And my surgeon's not even in the room yet. And so I'm on my left side. I got this thing shoved in my mouth. I hear my heart beating fast and then slow, then fast, just by what I'm thinking about. Next thing I see by my feet, the surgeon walks in. I know what he looks like because we Zoomed. And he's like, okay, Mrs. So-and-so, and you're here for this, and you've got history of this, and you could take an aspirin, and that's great. All right, I'm ready to go. And then the nurse who brought me in there walks around by my feet again, because now I don't see no one but my surgeon. And she calls out my name, and then she said, can you repeat it? Y'all, have this shit in my mouth. Like, how the hell am I supposed to? So this is me. I sound like fucking Charlie Brown's teacher. And I guess I understood that. I guess I said all the right wants. And then the doctor I watch him. He put my chart down. He faces them, which are standing behind me. And he's like, we're ready. The minute he said that, boom, oxygen went on. And the nurse said, ready. And then I hear the anesthesiologist say, good night. And I know propofol burns, okay? I've had it every time I've had to be put to sleep. But what if I didn't know that? Because it's not like when the anesthesiologist came in to talk to me that he said, I want you to understand, you're going to have propofol and it's going to burn. I already knew that. So whenever he asked me if I had any questions, I was just like, no. But I felt that burn, and y'all, next thing I knew, that I was waking up with my tongue hanging out in the recovery room, and Beefcake's over there laughing at me, and he's like, put your tongue away. And I felt like it was hair on my tongue. I just kept scraping my tongue. And, oh my God, I'm not kidding you. He was fine as frog hair. Fancy tramp. I'm just letting you know. That man, he was like 6 foot something and lean and had a really pretty smile, and he looked powerful, and he was fine as frog hair, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, but I never got to see him again, damn it. But anyways, the more that I think about what happened in that room, now, I'm sure the doctor was fine. He came in and saw me after I woke up, was awake enough to understand him, told me all of the findings that he found and all this, and I only understood half of it. And then he left, and I never saw him again, and then they got me out of there real quick. And I want y'all to know, I told him, I told the nurse, I said, looky here, I need you to watch me, because the last time I got put to sleep at an outpatient thing, I took my own IV out. So I need, like, in my head, I'm thinking, you said it was outpatient, I get to go home. Well, I'm ready to go home. And when you tell me we need you to do this first or that first, I was like, I'm not in my right mind, so I do weird stuff. And so Beefcake was sitting there the whole time, so I didn't pull out my IV. I was really, really proud about that. Because I've pulled out my IV, and then I've also pulled out my breathing tube during my hysterectomy. So I'm a terrible patient when it comes to that stuff. But anyways, I'm going to be talking to my doctor, because, listen, he always gives me his doctors, because he knows you got one chance to get this right, because I'm never coming back. I'm never gonna come back. So get what you need from me, and let's do it right the first time, because there is no second time for me at all, right? But I'm gonna let him know that I guess his doctor was just fine. I mean, whatever. But his team of nurses, I felt like, the more I thought about it after y'all, I felt like cattle. Like, everything was so, like, fast and done, like it's routine. This nurse knew what she was doing, that nurse knew what they were doing. Nobody's talking to you, reassuring you, nothing. They're just like, we don't have time to talk to you. Sorry, we're on a schedule here, and we got to get you off the slab so we could get the very next one on the slab. And I thought, not during all that, I just thought I was in the twilight zone because of the way that everything was happening so fast. And that's like the 4th time I've been put to sleep, and it had never happened like that before. And I was just like, so the more time I've had to think about, the more I'm just like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, how much money do you need that you've got to have 2 nurses that treat you like a cattle patient in there? We're not going to talk to you. We don't give a damn if you're nervous. We're not going to ask you if you're okay, if you need anything. We're just going to shove all this on you because you're scheduled for 45 minutes in the OR. We've got to have you out because the next patient is coming in. Y'all, I was like, the fuck? So I'm just letting y'all know, when I see my doctor again, he's getting some hell. And I give him hell a lot. Y'all know. Y'all know how I treat that man, and he adores me. I let him put his feet in my lap. I'm like, come on, let's have a mental health day. Put your feet up here, because I'm a lot to deal with. And so Every time I go see him, I'm like, hey, put your feet right up here. Let's have a mental health day. I'll rub your feet while you sit here and listen to my problems, and then we'll draw some blood, you know? And he's never taken his shoes or socks off, but I definitely would rub his feet because I adore that man. He puts up with a lot of shit from me, a lot. But I'm going to let him know that his doctor friend might be a good man, but the 2 nurses he's got working for him, like cattle in, cattle out, cattle in, cattle out, so we can make a quota for the day. Fuck that. Fuck that. Piss me off. And the longer I go, the more pissed off I am. Just letting y'all know. Being real. What else plugged up here? I don't know what that goes to. I'm gonna plug up my phone. It's gonna die. All right, now I'm reading chat again. I'm feeling fine. I mean, it's like I told Beefcake in the car on the way home. I was like, listen, I know something anal happened to me. And he just started laughing. Because you could just tell something's been all up in there. And I know stuff. And then he just started laughing, and I won't tell you what I said, but anyways, because when I had my hysterectomy, and my subs know this, when I had my hysterectomy, I had no clue when they go in your hoo-ha, okay? I mean, I've got a cut across my belly, right? It's a beautiful cut. It just looks like a really thin line. I mean, smaller than a pencil line. I mean, thinner than a pencil line. It's gorgeous. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it at all. But, so, because they went in through my stomach, I didn't know they were going in my hoo-ha, right? So, when the next day, after I woke up really good, and my sister and Beefcake were in there, I was like, y'all, someone's been in my hoo-ha. And they were like, nobody's been in your hoo-ha. And I was like, I'm telling you, I know when someone's been in my hoo-ha. And I'm letting you know someone's been in there. And y'all, that was my very first surgery, and it always freaked me out. Why women have to, and men, no matter, you could go in for your tonsils getting taken out, right? And you're not allowed to wear underwear. I want to know why, right? So I understand that I had to take off underwear because I was having a hysterectomy, but if they're going to do ear surgery or eye surgery or your tonsils or even a boob job, there is no reason not to be able to wear your underwear. But anyways, that's a thing, right? So I'm always complaining about every one of my loved ones that go into surgery. I'm like, do you have underwear on? And they're like, no. And it just pisses me off. I'm like, why do we not have, I mean, there's so many things that could happen to women. I know they could still happen to women with underwear on, but it still just freaks me out. So anyways, I was like, someone's been in my hoo-ha. So they thought because I have a problem about the whole underwear thing that I was just saying that, right? So I didn't say nothing. I went home. I, did my thing. I had to go get my staples out of my gut. And this whole time, I mean, I could still feel like a watermelon had been in my fucking hoo-ha. So I went in to go back to the surgeon. He was taking out my stitches. My husband was there, and I was like, look, I have a question. And he's like, yeah. And I said, Were you in my hoo-ha whenever you did my hysterectomy? And he stopped and he just looked at me and started laughing. And I was like, no, I'm serious. I know something that was in my hoo-ha. And he said, of course I was. And I was like, what were you doing? I mean, y'all. And he said, because I had to take your cervix out. So when we take your cervix out, we go in your hoo-ha. And he did those quotes to me. We go in your hoo-ha and we have to stitch up where your cervix was. So you get stitched in your hoo-ha and on the inside of your gut. And I was like, I didn't even know I wasn't going to have a cervix left. I was like, you mean I don't have a cervix left? He's like, no. I said, well, then what's it look like in there? And he said, it's just like it's a hole with nothing coming in or nothing going out. It's like a glove. That's it. That's it. No cervix to go any. I looked over at Beefcake. I said, look here. Next time I tell you someone's been in my hoo-ha, you don't question me because I know. I'm just letting y'all know. We women know. We don't, even if we're knocked out, like on propofol, on Michael Jackson milk, if you will, okay? Or we're drunk or we're asleep, we know if someone's been in our hoo-ha. I'm just letting you guys know. Oh, by the way, let me show you this one thing, and then I'm going to let you guys go. I found the med beds. Who's interested? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, people. Y'all think I'm playing with you? Raise your hand. I ain't playing. I found the damn med beds. Y'all know me. I'm in here researching, doing the thing that I do. And I was like, damn it, I found the med beds. And I just have to let, if you know, you know. And y'all know. Found them. Raise your hand if you want to know. Y'all know you want to know? All we hear about is med beds in certain places. All right, I found it. Y'all can thank me later. And then whenever you see that woman in those places, when y'all see that woman in those places talking about the med beds, you guys just thank me for this stuff. All right, here we go. Get excited, people. Get excited. Let me bring this down a little. All right, here's the truth about med beds. You're welcome. You're welcome. There is the med beds. How did that work out for him? There they are, guys. I found the med beds. I have looked and looked and looked and looked everywhere for med beds. Y'all, this man right here, Michael Jackson, he was in a med bed long, look at that, look at that, look at it. Long before it was a thing. So whenever somebody's discussing with you about med beds, how did it work out for him? Don't think I didn't research. I researched. Okay, here you go. Here you go. All I got to say is one thing, people. Lovers, my friends, is that did nothing for this man right here. He still got old. He still used Michael Jackson milk juice, and he still died. And I'm not making fun of a dead man, y'all. I'm just saying, when I looked up med beds, this is what I found. And he spent $100,000 for this med bed. I know what it is, fancy tramp. You mean it wasn't anti-aging plastic surgery after all? It was the miracle of the infamous med bed. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all don't say it. So, listen. There it is. I know what it is, Sean Alice. It's a fucking joke. But that's the closest I could find to med beds. All right? And I researched. I looked. If one more person tells me it's a hyperbaric chamber, I'm going to smack the hell out of you. It's a joke, people. It's a joke of me researching med beds. Oh my God. I have to go when my own people cannot even fucking get the joke. Oh my God. Say hyperbaric chamber one more time. Say it one more time. You big jerks. Y'all hurt my feelings because I thought that was funny shit when I found it. Anyways, since y'all didn't like that joke, fuck off. See if I ever try to tell another one. All right? We can get back to talking about my hoo-ha. Hello, cute cupcake, and hello, John Wayne, my podna. No, I'm not talking about my hoo-ha no more. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is go lick my wounds. Let's talk about illegals in Israel. It's a Halloween chamber. It's a med bed. God. My own people that have been abused by certain language about med beds didn't even get my joke. I'm shattered. I'm shattered. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. All right, guys, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for being here and for letting me discuss AI about my dog, because you guys, listen, it's gonna be my life for the next week, and I'm sure I'll take some shit for it, but I don't really care. I'm gonna have freaking puppies. I do have another stud lined up. I've got my sister's dog, Mac. Yes, we named him Mac because he was supposed to be Cheyenne's stud, and that didn't work out, and we wanted to call him Mac Daddy. But really, that's why we named him Mac, just so we could call him Mac Daddy. Anyways, he's an English cream golden retriever, just like little girls, so they will have all white puppies. But I need Newt to be a daddy first. So if Newt does not have any swimmies, oh God, please y'all pray that Newt has swimmies. Then we have Mac Daddy lined up. And I'll just go over there and collect from him, and because I don't know. But I'm going to figure something out. We're getting this dog pregnant next week, people. Next week. All right? Stay with us. Stimulating that vulva for next week. Well, you guys said, so Darlene said alpacas, you said horses. I've never seen that done, but wait a minute. I did see a guy's hand went into a horse's hoo-ha all the way up to its shoulder. I don't even remember why, but I remember watching something on TV where they had this plastic glove and it went all the way up to their neck, the man's neck, and then he put his whole hand, arm all the way up. I'm not lying. I am not if I'm lying, I'm dying. He put his whole hand, elbow, all the way up to his shoulder into that horse's hoo-ha. I didn't know what the hell was happening, but I was scared for her. You pulled a calf in, your arm was all the way in. But why'd you have to pull the calf out? Oh, that's how you check for pregnancy? Oh my, I was so wounded. But then I got to thinking about a horse's hoo-ha. I was like, well, if a horse gave birth to a human child, I mean, they wouldn't even feel it, right? Because they're used to, I mean, we always say, humans say when they give birth, like it was giving birth to a watermelon, because basically, almost the same size. So I'm sure that whole arm, I mean, that horse probably didn't feel it, did it? It was twisted, and Dad said his hand was too big. My God. Help deliver the calf or full. And I did watch, I'm subscribed to this farm that always has when they get their horses pregnant, and then it's like time, they're in labor, and then they put a horse cam on them so you could watch the horse. They sling the calves and the horses. Not to be mean. You tapped it with your banana. Hey, it's your screen. Tap it with whatever you want to. Thank you. But not to be mean, but they sling them, right? Like in a circle, so to get all of the gunk out of their lungs, right? Because a couple of puppies I had to sling, but not like that. You kind of put them in between your hand like this, their head here, and then you just swing in an up and down motion, and it clears out their lungs. But the calves and horses, I think, like you swing in a circle, right? And not throw them, but you know what I mean. Like you hold onto their legs and you swing in, it cleans out their lungs and their throat and stuff, right? But you don't have to do it with everyone. Josh, I'm not going to be on here too much longer, honey. I'm tired and I'm bummed, and I'm probably going to do some more research. Oh, you've not seen that? Tashi, look it up. I watched that happen. I don't think they do it to all of them, but for some reason they slung that one that okay, so tonight is Sunday. I have a grandchild birthday party tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night, around the same time, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Imagine trying to do that with a giraffe, Darlene says. Did you guys watch when Dolly, was it Dolly? What was the giraffe's name? April the giraffe. Y'all, I was all into that. I was all into April the giraffe. Remember when she had did you guys watch it when she had the baby? It was like really big on Facebook. I was so addicted to it. In Texas, you were 2 hours, so it's 4:30 in the morning here almost. In Texas, it's 2:30 in the morning. Am I right, Josh? April, that was your first ever YouTube live. Really? Oh, I loved watching that so much. Okay, so we're only an hour apart. So your time, it will be, if I go live at 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, then it is 12:30 your time. Oh, I loved watching April so much. I was so excited. In fact, I was at work whenever the baby was born. And we had it on the computer in the office, and we all just took turns running in and checking and seeing she had the baby. Oh, I thought it was so sweet. I watched the full watch YouTube lives. Yes, I like those too. I really do. Hi, Megs. Good to see you. No, she didn't. Did she really? She passed away? Oh my God, I didn't know that. See, I'm gonna have to go research it now. It just dropped on the ground. It just dropped on the ground. Nuh-uh. Why did she die? Oh, that's terrible. Yo, I could definitely work at a zoo. I definitely could, like, that is a dream job. Old age, really? Wow, I'll research it and find out for sure, but I think working at a zoo would definitely, even if I had to clean up poop, it's, to me, animal poop is way different than human poop. I would love, love, love working at a zoo, or I would love being a dog doula. And I know that just sounds stupid, but I would love people to bring me their pregnant dogs and let me help deliver them. I'll raise them right here in my living room for 8 weeks, and then you could sell them and keep the money. I just love it so much. I love everything about it, even cleaning up the pen and all that. I love the training. I love just every second. I love it so much. Late night microscope. Well, it didn't work. Hi, Redskin Garage. Good to see you. My niece works at a zoo. Oh, man. No, not April T. It's April the giraffe. It was real big on Facebook. Everybody was doing the April the giraffe watch to see when the baby was going to be born. Free range soon. She charge of rhinos. I think I would be a little bit scared of some of the animals. Probably only because of their size, but I think I could get used to them. Like, I think rhinos would probably scare me. Just because they could kill you. Hi, Ann. Good to see you, love bug. Good to see you. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here and listening to my crazy life. I should have probably named this The Crazy Life of Leanie, because it's actually, I live a crazy life. But I guess I don't want it any different. I'm interested in everything. Oh, I'm sorry, Ann. I'm sorry. I've been live now for 114 minutes, however long that is. And we went over sperm and dog's anatomy and artificial insemination and hoo-haws and anal sex and, you know, all the good stuff. I was story writing my first Halloween story. Oh, Sean, please, please, please do not forget to get in my messenger and let me know when you're having surgery, and I will be praying for you, and I love you so much. I really do. Darlene, it was so good having you in chat and for your experience. I appreciate you talking about your experience. Tashi too. Now I'm going to go and research April the giraffe and probably do some more researching on Maybe I'll try to find, because sometimes you can look on YouTube and somebody will be doing a review. And so maybe I'll look for a review for this and see if I did it right. That's what I'll do. April had to be euthanized due to worsening of our... No! I did not know that. Oh, that makes me so sad. Thank you, Fancy Tramp. I appreciate you coming in. Listen, y'all be good or be good at it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Somebody turn off the lights. Last person in, turn out the lights for me. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably be around tomorrow night. Love you guys so much. Bye.